Hello, I'm Robin Henning, and welcome to another Exchange Life Nugget of Truth. Did you ever wonder what life was like for Adam and Eve before they messed up? You know, the Bible tells us that they walked with God in the garden each day. Can you imagine that? How amazing that must have been for them. You know, after each stage of creation, God declares that His work is good, good, excellent. It was all good. Even God's design of mankind in His own image was amazing. Think of it, God, 3 in 1. Man, Adam and Eve, us, 3 in 1. Body, soul, and spirit. 3 parts functioning together as one being. The very presence of God resided in their spirits. They were God conscious. They radiated the glory of God. Now, how can I say this? Well, what did Moses' face do after he was in God's presence for so long up on the mountain? Yeah, he radiated. He had to cover himself because he didn't want the people to see that as time went by and he was away from the presence of God, the glory started to fade. How about Jesus when he's transfigured up on the Mount of Transfiguration with Peter and James and John? They freak out. Why? Because Jesus started to glow. The light of God started to flow through him, and whew, I call it getting his glow on. And they were just, wow, this is amazing. The very radiance of God was shining forth through Jesus. Blew their minds. When the presence of God resides on a person, they can't help but glow. So I believe that before the fall, Adam and Eve were clothed in the very light of God. They didn't need clothes because the glory of God enrobed them. The life of God emanated from their spirits, and they only ever experienced good. They lived in God's love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control, all the fruits of the Spirit they knew in full. They never experienced what it was to feel insecure or fearful or anxious or inadequate. None of that. They never feared rejection. Why? Because they were connected to the very source of life and love. And so they were secure in their relationship with each other as well. They understood each other. They had perfect communication. They had a perfect relationship. Neither of them had flesh patterns. They didn't need flesh patterns. Why? Because they were so connected to God and living out of His love that flesh was completely not even in the picture. They went through life simply resting in God's love for them and enjoying His life as they walked through the garden. They were so complete and lacking nothing that they were not self-conscious. They were completely God-conscious. Lust was never even a blip on the radar. They only experienced God's true agape love. The Holy Spirit established their thoughts in truth, which then empowered them to make choice after choice of what was good for them. I can't imagine a life free from the battle against the lusts of the flesh. But they knew it. They knew it beforehand. And beloved, life was really beautiful for them. And here's the good news. God's taken us back there. That is the end of the journey for mankind. The restoration of that relationship that Adam and Eve knew before they rebelled against God. Good is overcoming evil. We're getting there. We're not there yet. We haven't seen the finished product, but we are getting there. So over the next few weeks, we're going to take a look at this whole good versus evil thing. Next week, we'll look at why was it the tree of the knowledge of good and evil that was such a problem. So I hope that you'll just take some time and rest in His love this week. Know that He loves you. Live out of that love. And have a blessed week in Jesus.